Hi there, welcome to the weekend chart update for the 9th and 10th of June. Just a quick reminder on the general advice nature of this information. So let's have a look at, first of all, we'll start with the large caps and SWM, which is a trade that we've been in since the latter half of April. We first entered at 297 to the short side. We've taken partial profit at 250. It's looking for a rebound. No rebound occurred, and since then it's continued to fall away, and we closed at $2.13. So that's panning out to be a very profitable trade for us. It's below key support. It's possible we could see a bit of a rally back towards that key support, so depending on what happens in the US market on Monday night, we may even take some more profit on this trade and see what happens. I'll just play that one as it comes, but that trade still looks like it's got downside to me for the longer term. Next is Qantas, and I really hope you're able to get short on Qantas, and we got in around the 116 and a half area, and you can see it had three really significant down days on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can see the volume on Friday is quite elevated, so there could have been a degree of capitulation there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Qantas have a go at rebounding back above the dollar mark, particularly if the US market is positive on Monday night as well. So that one's still looking good, and I still think even though we might get a bit of a bounce up, there's still more downside in Qantas, I believe. Next is David Jones, which was a short entry around 212. No profit downgrade on this yet, but I think the odds significantly favour the fact that there could well be one. So I'm quite happy to be in David Jones at the moment. Now there's another one that I introduced in the weekend, and this is Downer. Let's have a look first of all at this on a weekly chart. You can see that it's been really tracking sideways for some time now, but certainly in the medium term it's been in downtrend since early April, and you can see that it's still got some room to unwind yet, and all the momentum indicators are pointing to the downside. If we come over to the daily chart, we are a bit oversold, so that's why I'm looking for a bit of a bounce into this 320 to 325 area for a short. So we need a bit of a bounce in Downer before we enter that one to the short side. Now looking at the more active positions, we've got Myer, which we got short at 197. It broke support shortly after that. We got down to a low of 179. We've had a bounce back, a retest of that breakdown, which is pretty normal, and then started to roll over again and finished down on Friday afternoon. So Myer continuing to head in the right direction for us. It's at an all-time low, so there isn't any support that you can see. So really no reason why Myer can't continue to fall further. And sentiment towards the retail stocks is really very negative at the moment. Now KCN, let's look first of all on a weekly chart. You can see we've been oversold on KCN. The RSI started to turn up, and we had a reasonable reversal starting during last week. The volume last week also was not too bad. So when we come back to a daily, you can see we've had a good run up here, certainly heading up in the short term. Money flow index quite positive, so that was why we took that position in KCN. Finished down just a little bit on Friday. That's all we've got in the large caps. If we then go to the small cap stocks, if you happen to still be in EVR, we had a very strong start to the week and flowed through almost till Friday. The downside in gold took the wind out of the sails, and because this stock is fairly illiquid, the price is bouncing around a fair bit. Now SLR is next. As you know, we changed this from a trade into an investment because I thought it was just silly to be selling down at this level, and it's rebounded 50% off the lows. And I really expect that we'll continue to see Silver Lake work its way to the upside, albeit with a bit of volatility. MTU, basically flat on the week, hadn't really changed very much, other than we got quite a significant spike up and breakout on Tuesday, which is very promising. And LCM, which is a long-term trade, we got in around 109. It's traded down just a little bit from there on very low volume, and I'm pretty comfortable with that trade in the medium term. Now, just looking at the potentials, we've got IMD, which I've written about in terms of the significant upside over the next 1 to 2 years. There really is quite a lot of upside in this stock. As far as the entry price goes, 160 would be fantastic. I don't know whether we'll get down to that level, but because I'm expecting a little bit more downside in the US market over coming weeks or possibly even months, I'm not in a screaming hurry to take a position in these stocks. What we may end up doing with a stock like IMD is maybe taking a partial position. I'll just see how events unfold next week, but we may even take a partial position and leave our options open, so at least we've got a presence there. Now, moving on to the more active trades, we've now got 3 to the long side, and they should go reasonably okay for us when our trading resumes. This is BLY. It's in this trading range between about $2.90 and $3.20. We got in at $3.20 when it looked like it was starting to head higher. It's just pulled back a little bit in the last few days, but that's neither really here nor there. You can see the money flow index is tracking higher, and fundamentally it's very cheap here and quite attractive. Now, RMS is a stock that got severely beaten up. Let's have a look at it on a weekly chart. I still don't understand the severity of what's happened to RMS, but you can see we really got quite oversold. The RSI was way down oversold even on a weekly. MACD just starting to turn, money flow index starting to head up on a weekly, and we were quite a way below the moving averages, so this was a good technical setup. You can see on the week we had very significant volume, more volume than we've seen for quite some time, so good setup. And whilst in the short term we might get a bit of up and down, I believe we'll probably see this head higher from here. So entry at 58 and closed at 58.5. And the other one that we managed to get into on Friday as well was SAR. First of all, looking at it on a weekly, you can see similar to RMS, quite oversold and looking like it's just starting to turn. We might be just a touch early on this, but we've got a pretty good entry price. We basically entered on the pullback at 54 and it finished the week just slightly above that. So that's the existing positions that we've got. I've got a large number of other potential trades, some to buy, some to short sell. I'm not quite sure in the short term which way the market is going to go. I think the medium term I'm reasonably comfortable that we've got some more downside. So my bias is to go a little bit easy on buying things and be looking to short sell the bounce. So we'll see how the first few days of next week plays out, and there'll be more indication through the daily alerts. So that's it. We've got a 4-day week ahead of us, so we'll see what that brings. Cheers.